Say hey, Yellow Jacket football fans. Welcome to In the Press Box, brought to you by the Calhoun Touchdown Club. And joining me, like he does every week, is head football coach at Calhoun High School, Coach Clay. Coach, how you doing?
I'm great. You know, it's a home week, first home game week. So kids have been excited. Coaches are ready. Ready to show off the newly renovated Reeve with all the. It looks great. If you haven't been here yet, it looks awesome. And hopefully we'll be able to go out and give a good performance on it.
Oh, I'm very confident that we'll put on a good performance. The first thing you're going to notice, folks, when you walk up is the brick facade on the stadium. I don't know if that's going to be the first thing you notice. You're also going to notice a brand new redone press box. We have a roof over the coaches on top of the press box. We have an elevator at the back end. The press box inside has been redone. We have a room to work out of with our broadcast that if I give Roger Gresham a longer cord, I might lose sight of him in the amount of room that we have. So it's just really, really nice. Of course, the field looks great. The guys are ready to go, and there's this fantastically big Jumbotron, one of the largest in the state of Georgia for high school football, which says a lot because the state does love its football, as this former Buckeye found out soon when he came here many, many years ago. It's going to be a wonderful night. The weather's going to be good. We might get a little bit chance of some rain around 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock, but outside of that, it's going to be very exciting. We're coming off a tough loss at Creekview on a game that usually lasts 2.5 to 3 hours. It started at 7:30. It ended shortly after 1 a.m. on Saturday, so the Friday night game turned into a Saturday night twin bill. Just a tough game against a very good football team, Creekview.
Yeah, they were. Speaking of the rain chances, I've coached for 20 years. I don't know when I will learn to always pack my rain jacket. Didn't have it there, and luckily we're not there too much of the rain. Obviously it started lightning, so we had to come in. It rained a little bit in the second half, but tough game. Creekview's a great team. We knew that going in. They're very solid, and we made too many mistakes. From the kickoff to the end, but I feel like we fought the whole time and battled through all the adversity that we had of sitting in the locker room for 3 hours and came back out and had a competitive game and a bounce or two here or there and we would have been able to win, but we learned a lot from it, learned a lot about our kids. They played extremely hard, like we talked about last week, and just at the end of the day made a little bit too many mistakes on the offensive and defensive side.
The thing that I was most impressed about, since I had to walk the sidelines since the press box wasn't available to us to finish out the game over the air, was the intensity of the Yellow Jackets. We were ready from the get-go to play the rest of that ball game. We had 8 minutes and 43 seconds left in the first half, second quarter, to finish 15-minute timeout and then finish the last two quarters. I just like the intensity of the guys. I mean, it was there.
Oh, I agree. It's like – we told them when we came in at halftime, it was, football, sports supposed to be fun, and it was going to be fun out there because there was no fans and, a little bit of spit and rain still there. And I think we went out and had a good time and played hard and competed. We just wish we'd go back and put them in a little bit better situation to win the football game. But we moved on from that one, had a good week of off-week practice last week and a great game week prep so far this week.
We like our football team. I know I'm speaking for you, but I know y'all like your football team. We have a bunch of new starters against a very good Creekview team that you just mentioned in the locker room predictions that you're expecting them to have just an outstanding season record when it ends up. So we played a tough opponent in a 5A school, a legitimate 5A school. They were probably a classification above us if we were in the old classification still. They'd been a 6A school when we were 5A. So they played against a very good team, an outstanding quarterback who was good with his feet, good with running the option, et cetera. So it was a big learning experience. You've had 2 weeks to get ready to take on Westminster, which is going to be another challenge.
Yeah, well, like you said, we like where our team is, and it's a different dynamic this year than we've had in the past. We've got, like I was telling the team the other day, we've got seniors that are superstars, and we got other seniors that their role are the little things in practice, and we've got 5 or 6 of them that are staying every night, making sure everything's clean, everything's put up. So it's a good dynamic of that senior class.
The senior football players are
yeah, it's just a good dynamic of that one. Like I said, we got ones that play and ones that don't get to play, but everybody knows their role and does what they can do for the team. And then we've got a lot of young guys that are mixed in there with some older guys in the starting lineup. So a good dynamic of the team, and hopefully we can gel sooner rather than later. But I like where we're headed for sure.
And one of the first questions that comes to any Calhoun fan's mind when they look at this game is, we're young at quarterback. We got a sophomore and a freshman that you were alternating in that previous game.
Yeah, well, what's great about our quarterbacks are they're tremendous kids on and off the field. They've got they work extremely hard. They know the game, and they gave us a chance to win the football game on Friday night, and that's their job. And they've had a good 2 weeks practice. So looking forward to them playing Friday.
Still dodging the weather, some early morning practices, because when that wet bulb comes out at 4:00 in the afternoon, it is hot on that football field.
Yeah, yesterday was, we went yesterday morning, but we got the text that couldn't have any afternoon activity. So I think, middle school was supposed to have practice, had to go in the gym. Today looks to be the same way. We got out Monday afternoon for a little bit. I went Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning. That's just kind of what you got to do these days to guarantee you can get your reps in, and we did that. And the kids enjoy it. We've got really good practices in the morning, and they look forward to sleeping in a little bit on Friday morning on game day. So school doesn't start at 8:45. So ready for tomorrow, ready to, like you said, get them a little rest in the morning and be ready 7:30.
Yeah, I didn't get to come to any of the practices this week, but pep in a step for the guys?
Yeah, I think so. It's we threw a lot at them. Westminster kind of creates a challenge of what they do offensively and defensively with their formations, the different things they do on defense. So it was a lot for them this week in preparation, and we tried to put them in, the toughest situations possible. Sometimes some weeks we don't do that, but this week we feel like we kind of had to challenge them a little bit from a formation standpoint and a scheme standpoint, and we feel like we've shown them a lot of stuff and feel like they're ready to play.
The last time we played Westminster, was it during 2014? Was that the last time we've played them?
I can't remember. It's been a while back.
Yeah.
The one panel of lights went out 1 year. I know we played them twice. One year in the semifinals, and another one that whole panel of lights went out 1 year. I know that was a semifinal game. Just can't remember the year. Everything kind of runs together, but yeah, we know what to expect with them. They've won a state championship. In the last 10 years or so. So we know, I think it was 2015, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
They beat Blessed Trinity in the state championship game. So anytime you win a state championship, you're well coached, and it's a great program. And this year's no different. They've got a solid group of guys. They play a few both ways, but they're a very solid football team that are very fundamentally sound, and they challenge you. Like I said, they challenge you a lot on both sides of the ball with the different things that they do.
That state championship game when Westminster beat Blessed Trinity, that was the game where we lost to Blessed Trinity in the semifinals, and both head coaches, Coach Howe and the current Blessed Trinity coach back then, said, yeah, we just beat each other up, and it really set the table for Westminster to be able to come in somewhat healthy.
That was a tough game that year, Blessed Trinity on the road. We lost it there at the end, but Coach McFarland, again, he's mentioned that before. Of that was kind of the state championship game. Yeah. Then they had to go play, and they were up, I think 14 really late, and got some onside kicks. But that's the caliber program that Westminster is, and we know they're going to bring a big test for us tomorrow night.
Senior quarterback. I pulled up highlights from their Lovett loss. Westminster beat Pace last week. They lost to Lovett 21-18. I think they won 14-7 over Pace last week. So I pull up the highlights of the Lovett game, and all the highlights are long passing plays or touchdown passes.
Yeah, their highlights are long pass plays because they run it a lot, and when they do a good job of play action and some boot game, that when they do throw it, their guys are open a lot of times. So, but they want to go run the football. They want to pound it in there, and then take their chances, like I said, on some play action passes.
Yeah, you're gonna see, folks. Sometimes you're gonna see a tight end and a blocking back lined up on one side next to the tackle. and you're going to see a lot of double teams on the offensive line. They like to play a little smash mouth football.
Yeah, they do. I think that's their identity. They've got some good hard nosed backs they roll in there, and a really good tight end that plays. He's really good. Plays both ways. Really strong guy, number 8, but he's a good football player for them. So he's kind of a key for us to make sure we know where he is on both sides of the football.
Yeah, he passes the eye test when you see him on the field. Defensively, what are they going to throw at us?
Everything you got. They do a lot defensively. They like to bring a lot of pressure. They're normally a 4 down, but they play some 3 down. But they've got really active linebackers that like bringing pressure up the middle, and they like I said, they've got a couple of offensive linemen that flip over and play defensive line. That tight end, plays some W and tight end and goes and plays defensive line. So and they're linebackers as well. So they're very, like I said, very conditioned football team. They can play both ways and very smart. But that's, I guess, if you had to look, their identity on defense is they like to bring pressure and kind of, just kind of keep you in front of you on the secondary. So we've had a lot of blitz pickup this week, to protect the quarterbacks, and the offensive line did a really good job with it so far.
Yeah, I was trying to chart their defense, and I don't know if I couldn't say whether they're playing a 3-man front or a 4-man front. It's just constant pressure.
Yeah, it is. And they do a good job. They know where they're supposed to be every play, and they get lined up and play fast and physical.
We have a lot of young guys that are in a starting role for the first time. It's like any football team in America right now. There's going to be bumps and bruises, that kind of thing. But the guys have had a pretty good practice this week.
They have. We've gotten some guys back and put some guys on the other way with injuries. But these last couple of days have been, like I said, we've put a bunch on them this week, offensively and defensively. And the last 2 days have been pretty clean and sharp. So looking forward to it. Yeah,
this begins a nice stretch of non-conference games, non-region games, where we get Westminster, then we get Cartersville, and then we end up with Cambridge. So it's going to be an interesting chore. We're very excited to honor the 2014 state championship team, which you were a big part of. A lot of fond memories. I could talk about that game, particularly the ending of the game, for the next 15 minutes. But anyway, it's going to be nice having those guys back, and the players being able to look at them and put a face with a name that they've heard or seen on film.
Yeah, it is. There's one clip in particular that I guess I posted back when Alico passed away, but it's a play where he scores a touchdown, and that year he was the backup running back. I think we had Cole Jackson there, and
yes.
Then Malik was in there. I think he was a backup. Anyway, we had 4 backups in, and Alico scored a touchdown, and the first people to meet those guys to celebrate were the starters. Even though they're on the sideline, they were the first people to go out there and congratulate the guys that were in there instead of them on the touchdown. So it was just kind of a lesson of, it doesn't matter who's out there. We're playing as a team, and that was just one little clip from that game that we've shown several times over the years.
Yeah, that's a nice clip. Listen, I know you're busy. You're anxious to get out there and get back to your classroom first of all, but you're anxious to get out on the field and see what happens. I'm anxious. First home game, I'm just pumped up. I can't imagine what the players are. Yeah,
they're excited. We've talked about all week. It's something special about walking out of the field house across the Yellow Jacket Drive on a Friday night in Calhoun. So, and they're limited. You don't get many of them. We've tried to tell especially the seniors to make sure you don't take it for granted. You go out there and have fun and fly around and play for each other and play for your school and play for your community, and hopefully we do that and come out on top.
Folks, Coach always reminds me, football, you get to play one time a week. You don't get to play 2 or 3 times a week and correct things as you go and play another game. So a little bit of pressure, but I think this young team is handling the pressure very well and enjoying the moment, and that's what you ask of them.
Yeah, exactly. You got football's a game where you got to make sure that you're taking care of your job every day. And like you said, you get to practice and practice and practice and practice, and you get one chance to go out there and play. So, it's a special game, and looking forward to getting out there tomorrow night and kicking it off.
Folks, we really appreciate you listening to In the Press Box with Coach Clay. You can listen to this on 103.5 FM, the Fox, as well as 10:30 a.m. That's where the live broadcast will be. It's also streaming on Fox or thefox1035.com. And don't forget, every Saturday morning you can hear a live replay of the live action on 103.5 FM and 10:30 a.m. You'll get to, at 9 a.m., they'll replay the game, and you can get to listen to it all over again. A victory for the Yellow Jackets over the Wildcats of Westminster, we hope. Once again, Coach Clay, thank you for your time.
And thanks, Dave.
You've been listening to In the Press Box with Calhoun High School head football coach Clay Stevenson.